Welcome to Statistics Made Simple, and I am Savita Valsang. In this video, Arithmetic Mean Part 1, I'll define the arithmetic mean and explain how to compute it for raw data, discrete data, and continuous data. And we will also learn the important properties of the arithmetic mean using certain examples. The arithmetic mean is defined as the sum of all observations divided by the total number of observations, and it is denoted by x bar. Now let us learn how to compute the arithmetic mean. Firstly, for raw data. Now raw data means only a set of x values will be given. So let's start. For raw data, let us consider x1, x2, so on xn as n observations. Then their arithmetic mean is given by x bar equal to x1 plus x2 plus so on plus xn divided by n, or the numerator can be written as summation x, and hence the arithmetic mean formula for raw data will be x bar equal to summation x divided by small n, where again n stands for the number of values which are given. Now let's learn how to compute the arithmetic mean for discrete data. So for discrete data, you're aware that the x values and the corresponding frequencies will be given in the table. So let x1, x2, so on xn be n observations with f1, f2, so on fn as their corresponding frequencies. Then their arithmetic mean is given by x bar equal to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus so on plus fn xn divided by f1 plus f2 plus so on plus fn. So the numerator can be replaced by summation fx, and the denominator, that is f1 plus f2 plus so on plus fn, is nothing but summation f, or it is represented by capital N. Therefore, the formula of the arithmetic mean for discrete data will be x bar equal to summation fx divided by capital N, where n is equal to the sum of the frequencies, that is summation f. So how do we compute the arithmetic mean for continuous data? For continuous data, the class intervals and their corresponding frequencies will be given. So first we need to find out the midpoints of the class intervals. So let x1, x2, so on xn be the midpoints of n class intervals, and f1, f2, so on fn be their corresponding frequencies. Then their arithmetic mean is given by x bar equal to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus so on plus fn xn divided by f1 plus f2 plus so on plus fn, which can be written as x bar equal to summation fx by capital N, where capital N is equal to summation f. Let us now learn the properties of the arithmetic mean, which is again a very important question. The first property, the algebraic sum of the deviations of a set of values from their arithmetic mean is 0. So algebraic sum means summation. Deviations of a set of values from the arithmetic mean. So you know that the arithmetic mean is denoted by x bar. Deviations of a set of values from their arithmetic mean means that it is x minus x bar. So algebraic sum of the deviations of a set of values from their arithmetic mean in terms of notations is nothing but summation x minus x bar, and this should be equal to 0. So in the exam, when you're asked to write the properties of the arithmetic mean, you can write the statement, or you can just write only the expression. So let's go through the property again. The first one, the algebraic sum of the deviations of a set of values from their arithmetic mean is 0. Or in other words, it means that summation x minus x bar is equal to 0. Let me now explain this through an example. You need not learn the example for the exam. This is only for your understanding. Now suppose I consider the x values as 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Now because I am considering only the x values, it means it is raw data. And we find out summation x, which is equal to 25. Now I have written given n equal to 5, that is 5 observations are given. And how do we calculate the arithmetic mean for raw data? It is x bar equal to summation x by n, which is 25 divided by 5, which is equal to 5. So you get x bar equal to 5. In the second column in the table, we'll find out x minus x bar. Take the first x value, which is 1. 1 minus 5 is equal to minus 4. Then 3 minus 5 is minus 2. 5 minus 5 is 0. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 9 minus 5 is 4. Now when we find the sum of x minus x bar, we see that it is equal to 0. Or in other words, from the second column in the table, we see that summation x minus x bar is equal to 0, or the algebraic sum of the deviations of a set of values from their arithmetic mean is always 0. The second property of the arithmetic mean is also called as the minimal property of the arithmetic mean, which states that the algebraic sum of the squared deviations of a set of values is minimum when the deviations are taken from the arithmetic mean. Or in terms of notation, it means that summation x minus x bar the whole square is less than summation x minus a the whole square, where a is any arbitrary value. So the algebraic sum means summation squared deviations of a set of values from the arithmetic mean is nothing but x minus x bar the whole square. So algebraic sum of the squared deviations when the deviations are taken from the arithmetic mean means it is summation x minus x bar whole square, and this should be minimum, or in other words it should be less than summation x minus a the whole square, where a is any arbitrary value. So again in the exam, you can write the statement, or you can write only the expression, that is summation x minus x bar the whole square is less than summation x minus a the whole square, where a is any arbitrary value. Arbitrary value means it can be either a positive value or it can be a negative value. So let's understand this property through an example. In the first column, I have the x values as 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So summation x is equal to 25. So I'll write given n equal to 5, and I'll assume the arbitrary value as 2. It should be a value which is different from the arithmetic mean which we get for the problem. So let us assume that a is equal to 2. As the given data is raw data, if we calculate x bar with the formula summation x by n, that is 25 by 5, we get x bar as 5. So in the second column in the table, find out x minus x bar, which is minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2 and 4. In the third column, find out x minus x bar the whole square. So square each value which is there in the second column. So you get 16, 4, 0, 4 and 16. So it adds up to summation x minus x bar whole square is equal to 40. Now in a similar way, let's find out in the fourth column x minus a values. So we have assumed a to be 2. So 1 minus 2 is minus 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, 5 minus 2 is 3, 7 minus 2 is 5 and 9 minus 2 is 7. And x minus a the whole square will be 1, 1, 9, 25, 49, or summation x minus a the whole square is equal to 85. Now for the second property, we see that from the above table, summation x minus x bar the whole square is 40, which is less than summation x minus a the whole square, which is equal to 85. The third property of the arithmetic mean is called as the combined mean property. This property is an important one, and usually problems based on the property are asked in the exam. So let's consider two sets of data. The first set has n1 observations and the second set has n2 observations. So let x bar 1 be the arithmetic mean of a set of n1 observations, and let x bar 2 be the arithmetic mean of another set of n2 observations. Then the arithmetic mean of the two sets of values together is given by x bar 1 2 is equal to n1 x bar 1 plus n2 x bar 2 divided by n1 plus n2. This combined mean property formula can be extended for more than two sets of data as well. Thank you all for watching, and in my next video we will find solutions to problems based on the arithmetic mean.